Once I understood this one thing, finishing tracks became super easy for me. I started finishing tracks like just like this. And it's simpler said than done. And what is it, the thing that I'm talking about? And it is when and how do you add sounds to your arrangement to work with the energy, to make sure that the drop hits harder, to make sure that you have a nice break and I can continue on and on. So in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly when to add sounds and how to add sounds to your tracks to make your mixes tracks sound professional and as good as the tracks from your favorite artists when you listen to these tracks in the clip. So I'm going to be breaking down my latest track and showing you my thinking process, how I think when I add sounds and when I take sounds out. So if you want to master arrangement, it's going to be a really valuable video. And for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Vlad. I create superstar music producers. So if you need some help with your music, check the link down below, check my website, and let's have a chat. You can book a call and I would love to help you with your music. So, and as usual, let's get started with the video. And first thing first, we really want to understand the track structure and the energy flow in the mix. So this is like a really schematic representation on this slide, as you can see. So the intro, we are really starting to just introduce the track, right? Then we have the build, then we have like a simplified drop, then we have the main drop, and then we have a cool down. And the energy goes kind of like from bottom to up and then kind of like down. So if you want to successfully add sounds to your tracks, what you have to understand is what section am I in right now and what is the purpose of this section, right? So if that's intro, it's going to be more relaxed. If that's build, then again, we'll talk about it. But you can pause this video and try to like analyze your track like in a simple like in a similar way, like where do you have what. Okay, so let's start with the intro, which is around 30 seconds, 16 bars. I'm going to first play you the intro of my track in Ableton, and then I will break down my thinking process. So check it out. So, like, it's pretty cool, and the intro here serves a couple of purposes. Number one is you want to tease the track, you want to tease the melody, you want to tease the vibe, and just like have a DJ-friendly kind of intro, so you can mix the track easily, right? So what we have here is, again, the length is, I think of blocks like 16 bars. So if you split your track into 16 bars, it's going to be way easier to arrange. So I have a simplified main melody and then the main melody. So the first like 8 bars is a simplified one because that's the intro. And then some of the sounds from the main drop. So in my opinion, how I see the intro, it is a simplified version of the main drop. And I do have some of the drop sounds here, like from the main one, just to again, like tease the idea and let the listener like taste the real drop, right? So what we can do here is, let's mute the main melody. And if you listen to this one, again, it's like... So this is like literally the main melody that I would have in my drop throughout the track. And then the first one is going to be simplified one. And then there's a dialogue between the sounds that you have. Again, I don't want to go like too deep into the specifics. It's more like the logic, like the thinking process behind it. So like try simplifying the lead a little bit and teasing some of the elements from the main drop. Okay, so I think that's gonna be it. Let's now talk about the first break. So I'm gonna play the first break and then explain what I added and why I added. So we have again like the main melody, some of the order sounds. Right? So what is the logic behind the break? And this is like, again, my opinion. I'm not telling that I'm 100% right. It's more like what works for me, and that's it. So we have the cello, which is like, again, the main melody. I'm not changing it, right? As you can see, we just go. I have a filter on the cello, but technically, the break is continuing the idea of the drop. So I usually take out the kick and the bass here, like original kick and the bass, but I like using Reese basses and then especially like opening the filters. Like what it does, it sort of like changes the vibe in the track. So maybe like instead of the main bass, try adding a different one, like a different preset. Like could be same melody, like literally, I think it's almost like the same melody, 80% the same melody, but just because it's a different timbre. Sounds pretty epic, and this stuff is really simple. And we have the accents from the drop, right? So like the old sounds, and like once you make a drop, like once you make the main loop, then you just stretch the whole thing like throughout the whole track. And you can see how nice this sounds. And those are the sounds from the main drop, right? So this is technically like the main drop that I have. What else do we have? We have the Reese bass, and we have like a theme for break, right? It's a viola, which is a little bit bigger than the violin, but a little bit smaller than the cello. Right? And then here what we have is like, again, this little melody. It's like a new motif in the context of the same track that I added to make my breaks a little bit more interesting. But it's essentially like I'm copying the bass line, I'm copying like the same theme from the track, just with a different instrument, right? And then the rest, like all the sounds here are the same. So technically the break is like, you want to have some sort of like movement up, so you want to build tension, like with automation, with sounds, and then you take it back, right? So this is the drop. So usually the drop is again like, excuse me, the breakdown is the same drop without bass, maybe with the Reese bass. Try closing the melody with a filter, like adding like one more sound on top, like I did here with long notes, maybe like a Reese bass. You open the filter, and that's it, right? Like it's really simple. Like it's really simple. It's not rocket science, right? So just one more time, listen, and then we'll go to the next section. Okay, hope it makes sense. Let's now talk about the minimal drop. So what I noticed in my tracks, what I really, really like, again, let's have a look at this one. Once you build tension, right, in the builds, like you go up, then I don't like having the full drop playing like right away. You want to play with dynamics, you want to play with the energy. So I usually like taking away the main sound a little bit, like just withhold it for, I don't know, like 16 bars, right? We can analyze the minimal drop. So I take away the main lead sound, and you keep like sprinkling the same main sounds from the drop, but like you take away the motif, the main one. And I do have some atmospheres. And if you watch my previous video about the delay, like literally the previous one, if you go to my channel, because I do have those really cool resampled atmospheres, it sounds really nice. And then again, like I technically do have my main lead sounds, but it's resampled. I'm not going to go through the sound design here, but just listen. Yeah, just because I have those atmospheres, it sounds really nice, right? If I mute the atmosphere, it's going to be really boring. I mean, it's not bad, like it's still cool, it's still pretty minimal, but I just want to convey my idea here is first drop is usually minimal drop, where before that you have teased the main motif, and then you take it away just to like, you know, spark some curiosity, like, oh, like what's the next thing? Like, think of your arrangement like a story, right? Like you are in the movie and the movie progresses. You start introducing new characters, new events happen, and so on and so on. So like in this case, I'm kind of keeping the same vibe like from the main drop, but I'm also introducing some of the atmospheric sounds, which is technically like, you know, I do have the main lead sound here. Yeah, and let's really quickly break down some of the atmospheric transitions. Because I do have like a little like micro break here, it's nice when you have sounds like this. And I use those like instead of noise effects. So like the less effects that I use, like the more I like my tracks for some reason, but feel free to use what you like, right? So this is really important section here. We have the atmosphere, and here we have like another atmosphere. So you want to make sure that those are like not empty. Right? That's kind of it. So I hope it makes sense. Again, to keep it simple, first drop like is a minimal drop. So try to play with the atmosphere, try to resample your sounds. Okay, now let's talk about the main drop, right? So it's going to be this one. And let's have a listen. So for the main drop is I would have my full drum loop, like more energy, sounds from the main drop, maybe new motif. Like in this case, I still decided to like not introduce the cello. It's more like I teased it and I only introduced it in the second half of the track, right? Which is pretty interesting. Like it tells a pretty cool story, right? We'll go here soon. I'm just gonna play you a little bit from the main drop, right? right? So like in this section, it is now technically the main drop, and what we have here is like the full energy, at least like for the first section. The second section of the track, like the second drop after the build, like is even more energetic. But then again, if you think of it, it's like the same sounds from the main drop, but I just do have like full drums here. And try arranging your drums in a more interesting way, right? You can see here that like my drums are looking like way different throughout the whole track. So like here's the main loop. Sometimes I would have like this like ethnic percussion, you know, different stuff. But technically, like again, it's not rocket science. You just want to take some stuff out, maybe then introduce it, right? So it's kind of hard to like give you the exact formula. I'm just sharing my thinking process, what I'm doing right here. It's like the same logic I would have like this micro break and then like another sound, but technically it's all like the same. So there's the new motif, new little sound here. Something happened with with the lead here. I'm not sure what happened. It's not a big deal. What else? Yeah, and then yeah, we just continue. The next section is going to be the cool down drop. So it could be like again 16 bars, maybe a little bit more. So once I go down, like you need to understand: do you go up or do you go down? Right. So when I go down to the break, because I want the first half of the track to be like a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more atmospheric, because in the second part of my track, I'm gonna have like a big climax, right? So from here, I simplify drums, same drop sounds, and then some drop sounds to transition to break. And we have a brass atmosphere, which sounds like this, right? So let's go here and listen to what we have. Those are again like the same sounds, and I had them like for full track. Nothing has changed since the intro. And that's the cool thing about it. Like it's not rocket science, right? And this is like, this is literally the same thing from the intro. Literally, I just copied it, right? So like you can see it's pretty simple. So again, just understand where we go up, where we go down, right? And then, this thing keeps coming. And then we have the bridge, and the bridge is like basically just a transition to the break section. And from the break, this is where we have the climax of the track. So and then we'll just repeat the same formula. So in the break here, like I'm going to really quickly go through the second part of the track because I don't want to make the video too long. It's already like 20 minutes. So here again, we introduce new sound. And then it's the same melody as from the intro. Same thing. Now, the build-up, I do have three sounds: Reese bass, the main melody, and the new melody, like which is the op, right? Listen to this. Same logic. After the build-up, I do have a chill break with the ethnic drums. I took away the main melody here, just to keep it more simple, and then added some accents. So if you listen, I have brass, I have tuba. Yeah, those are just again the accent sounds. Like just pay attention to how like I'm introducing the elements. Like you want to introduce everything like gradually, step by step, right? You don't want to give everything right away. Again, think story. Think of like storytelling. How do I tell a story with my sounds? So that's it. Right, so pay attention how I took away the arpeggio, and it's really so simple. You take stuff out, you introduce new stuff out, and then you just make sure that those sounds interact. So like what I did here is just like a little bit of filtering. I think that was it, right? So here, just a little bit of filtering to bring back the main melody. And then I bring back the main melody and bring up front the arpeggio, right? So simple, like three sounds playing at the same time plus the drums. And again, sometimes just having one sound to like emphasize the accents, like it's more than enough. Yeah, and from here, like at the end, we have the climax. This is like where I have the most energetic part of my track. So if you listen to it, just pay attention to how I'm adding new sounds to the old arrangement, which technically they just repeat the same melody. So yeah, that's kind of it. And again, like I didn't spend too much time on the second drop. I just played you the track because like you have to see what you like in your tracks. But the most important thing that you understand is like the structure of the track. What is happening? Do we go up? Do we go down? And then you just keep trying. Okay. That was it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope that you learned something valuable. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And see you in the next one. Bye.